Hey, this is Stephan Sardone with Sardone Construction, and today we're going to talk about budget. This is the deal breaker. This is the thing that makes a project happen or not happen. This is the thing that makes a marriage end or not end. This is a huge component that is a part of our pre-planning stage, and realistic expectations are huge. So let's talk about that. How do you set up a budget? You know, a lot of that has to do with something that nobody can tell you who maybe wants to do the remodel. I would say, what's the value of your house? What is it worth? What could it be worth? What is the neighborhood doing? I would get with the realtor who sold you your house and start finding out these things. A realtor should know your neighborhood. They should know what sort of remodels are working and what sort aren't. You know, you probably live in a nice neighborhood, so you're probably going to get some ROI for your remodel. However, not all remodels are equal. Just because you spend $50,000 on your kitchen doesn't mean you're going to increase the value of your house $50,000. A quick and easy example of how that can happen is, you know, there's a lot of old kitchens that are galley kitchens. They were built in the 50s, the 60s. This was not America's greatest time. Women were sent to the kitchen to do all the cooking, and when they were done, they would come out where the men were sitting there drinking. Well, life is different. Now men like to cook. Now everybody likes to be in the kitchen. Now we all like to get together. So naturally, the design of kitchens is more open. It's more engaging. It's more fun. So if you're going into your old, outdated kitchen and you're simply swapping out tile and cabinets and countertops and floors, but leaving it with the same exact space layout, then you're really not updating your kitchen. You're just updating the finishes. But your design is just as old as it ever was. This is a perfect example of how you can spend a lot of money remodeling your kitchen, put together a really good budget, and really not improve the value of your house. I feel like I digress. Let's get back to budget. How do we set a budget? So once you've established that you are going to do a remodel, that the value of the neighborhood, the value of the house is commensurate with what you're willing to spend, then it's time to pick out what is that number you're willing to spend. This is a very tricky thing for most homeowners and clients because there is not a lot of intel that says, oh, you live here, this is what you want, well, you should spend this. And you know what, a lot of the shows on TV that say, hey, we did the whole house in 2 days and it only cost $10,000, those don't really lend themselves to help any of us because those numbers maybe aren't 100% accurate or realistic. What I have found very helpful is the cost versus value report. It's put out by the real estate industry every year. You can Google it, 2013, 2014, 2015, and you can look at your area. We live in Texas, we live in Dallas, so we can break it down by South Central, by state, by city, and then we can break it down by this type of house we have. Is it worth more than $750,000? Then it's probably upscale. If is it worth less than $750,000? Then it's probably mid-range. And then you can break it down by space, attic remodel, bathroom remodel, master suite addition. And it'll give you a good idea, an average of what people are actually paying when they hire professionals to remodel their home. This has been a tremendous tool in showing clients what it will generally cost to remodel their space with everything they want. The tricky thing about that is everybody has champagne taste on a beer budget. So the next thing, after you have established a budget and it is grounded in some sort of reality, it's time to prioritize and compromise. What are the most important things to you? Is it gold countertops? Is it this crazy cool backsplash? Is it really nice faucets? What is it? It doesn't matter, but let's start there. Prioritize 1 through 100 or however many things are on your list. What's the most important? And then as you sit down with your spouse and you figure out, oh, the things that are important to me are not as important to them, then it's time to start compromising. And this is a great place to start working on that and start planning so that once you get to the project, you're not having to compromise under pressure. Once you've prioritized your list, and you've probably gone through it a number of times, and you've probably gone through a number of compromises, and you've probably gone back to the budget and adjusted that, then it's time to decide, do we want to update the space or do we want to completely remodel the space? And the difference is, like I said earlier, are we going to change out some finishes and maybe cut a hole in a wall, or are we going to move walls? Are we going to open the space? Are we going to make this space what you want so that you can achieve what you want? A lot of people, maybe they don't ask the question, what do I want out of that space? They just take their pictures and say, I want it to look like this. I like to ask questions like, well, what do you want? Do you want everybody to sit around while you're cooking, drinking wine and talking? Do you want everybody to sit together at all the meals? You know, what's the goal? Why are we remodeling? It's got to be more than just, well, I want pretty countertops. It has to have a function. It has to be connected personally to what you want. And then I would start thinking about these things. These are great exercises to go through as you consider your budget. And as you can see, it's not just simply picking a number out of the air. It's going to be a lot of work, but it'll be a lot of fun. Thanks.